Sean G, podcast with soul. It don't never stop. It don't never stop. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this video. If you're following the Puffy trial with somebody and y'all get on the phone and y'all be debating and dialoguing and arguing and cursing and screaming at each other about the trial, send them this video and then tell them to send it to somebody else. I've been covering the trial since it started. I was in courtroom observer on the 24th floor, the overflow courtroom. I was there every single day except 5 days. So I heard all the testimony. I know all about it. Me, Sean Xavier Gumby Sr., and the podcast with Soul and Gumby Publishing do not wish to defame, slander, or libel anybody as it relates to the court case we're going to talk about today. This information is available on Pacer. It is the $50 million civil suit Puffy filed against Courtney Burgess, Ariel Mitchell, and Newsnation, Nexstar Media. Let's get into Nexstar Media. Nexstar Media, there's a girl on there called Ashleigh Banfield, who has been anti-Puff from the beginning, and she allowed Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell to come on her show and spread defamatory claims, malicious lies, false accusations on her show, and Puffy is suing them for $50 million. On or about October 31st, 2024, Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell appeared on Newsnation's Banfield show, also broadcast on YouTube. The host introduced the interview by announcing that Burgess just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence of Puffy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those flash drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that was 6 males and 2 were females. Now, this is a flat-out lie, because what we learned at the criminal case, at the criminal trial, that a freak-off, unlike what these people lied about, was only 3 people: Puffy, Cassie, and a male escort. That was it. That was the extent of a freak-off. All of these stories about a big party with a bunch of celebrities, this big orgy going on, and this and that, was all a lie perpetrated by these people. And this is why they're getting sued for $50 million. The host of Newsnation, the Banfield show, went on to note that, quote unquote, because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes. We know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not. That is a lie, because the tapes didn't even exist. But this is what they were saying on the show. This statement was false, and the Newsnation host knew was false, or at a minimum, recklessly disregarded whether the statements were true or false, because she had never seen such videos, because they do not exist. During the broadcast, Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell confirmed that Burgess had been subpoenaed to a federal grand jury in Manhattan. In response to the host's questioning, Courtney Burgess falsely stated that all 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relationships with Sean Combs, 2 to 3, possibly 3, appeared to be minors. All appeared to be inebriated, meaning drunk, and all, to be honest, were victims of sexual assault. This is what this dude, Courtney Burgess, got on Newsnation and said on the Banfield show with Ariel Mitchell. Crazy. Burgess also repeated his false statements about the fake memoir. The host asked him, "Do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter?" Courtney Burgess responded, "Yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it." In another interview, Burgess claimed that federal law enforcement seized the flash drives from his home. This too was false, because if the feds seized them flash drives, they would have brought that out at the trial, at the criminal trial. None of this came out at the trial. Nothing of what's on this document came out at the trial. None of it. On October 7, 2024, Ariel Mitchell also falsely claimed that she has done quote unquote research indicating that baby oil may be used as a conduit for transmitting drugs mixed into the baby oil to another person for the purpose of incapacitating them, meaning knocking them out. Ariel Mitchell suggested, moreover, that Mr. Combs did this to one of her clients, mixed drugs with baby oil and doused her client with it, thereby lowering her defenses. That statement was a lie. Ariel Mitchell performed no such research, and even if she had, there is no scientific basis for asserting that baby oil can be infused with drugs to incapacitate anyone. Again, Ariel Mitchell knew or should have known that her statements were false when she made them. Mitchell made these statements throughout the interview that were unambiguously intended to convince viewers not only that Courtney Burgess was telling the truth, but also that she herself, Ariel Mitchell, had independently corroborated his claims and was vouching for him. Mitchell made similar statements on or about the same day as the Banfield YouTube broadcast. During a separate interview, Ariel Mitchell and Courtney Burgess gave outside of the Federal District Court in Manhattan. In that interview, the reporter asked, "I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage?" Ariel Mitchell responded, "We have, yeah. It's things that we have." Ariel Mitchell intended this statement to convince viewers that Courtney Burgess's false claims about Puffy were true, even though she knew or recklessly disregarded at the time that his claims were false. In her shameless pursuit of the spotlight, Mitchell repeated these known lies in a documentary, The Making of a Bad Boy, that aired on NBC's streaming platform, Peacock, on January 14th, 2025. In that documentary, Ariel Mitchell endorsed the ludicrous allegations of her client, Courtney Burgess, stating that Burgess, quote unquote, has done interviews where he purported to own several flash drives that included SEX tapes with 8 distinct individuals, including A-list celebrities and Puffy, all engaged in sex. He believes that these people were intoxicated and that they may not have known that they were being recorded. Then, explicitly endorsing Courtney Burgess's known lies as truths, Ariel Mitchell added, quote unquote, and Courtney ultimately handed over the video to the federal government. These statements were completely false. Mitchell knew these statements were false because no such video was ever turned over to the government, because no such video exists. Ariel Mitchell didn't stop there. She continued to lead credence to Courtney Burgess' lies, asserting that Puffy took these videos, which she knew didn't exist, so that he could wield power over the purported subjects. Quote unquote, Ariel Mitchell, talking about Puff. It was to advance his influence and his power, because now I have them on video where I can say, I'm going to take this to your wife. I'll take this to your husband. I'll take this to the public. And I'll ruin you if you don't do this for me. During the interview in The Making of a Bad Boy, Ariel Mitchell shamelessly promoted herself as a lawyer who had filed several cases against Sean Combs for sexual assault, and asserted, with no basis in fact and with utter disregard for the truth, that Puffy, quote unquote, is a man who has done awful things to hundreds, maybe thousands of people. Ariel Mitchell, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, girl. But you got what's coming to you. Puffy got acquitted, and he coming for your ass. Defendants eagerly peddled these lies to enrich themselves. Burgess has profited from his fake Kim Porter memoir, which prior to being pulled down from the Amazon website, briefly rose to the top of its bestseller list. Courtney Burgess's craving willingness to profit from the fabricated memoir proves that he is callously indifferent to the emotional distress of Miss Porter's children, and has nothing but contempt for the feelings of Miss Porter's extended family and many friends who were heartbroken by her untimely death. Ariel Mitchell has sought to profit from her false and defamatory statements about Mr. Combs. Mitchell has seized every opportunity to promote herself in the media and has insisted on valuable benefits and payments in exchange for interviews, including first-class airfare, 4-star hotel accommodations, hair and makeup allowances, and a materials fee for copies of, among other things, demand letters sent on behalf of one of her clients who sued Mr. Combs. Newsnation, Ashleigh Banfield has likewise profited from repeating and amplifying Burgess's and Mitchell's lies, drawing viewers and promoting its programming based on wholly substantiated lies that would have been revealed as false had Newsnation conducted even the most modest fact-checking. Defendants made false and defamatory statements about Puffy, knowing that they were false and with reckless disregard for their falsity. Defendants made those false and defamatory statements in bad faith as a part of a deliberate effort to damage Mr. Combs' reputation, undermine his businesses, and by painting him as a debauched and a pedophile, to poison the public's perception of him and deprive him of a fair trial. Defendants had no good faith basis for claiming that Courtney Burgess possessed videos of Mr. Combs involved in the sexual assault of anyone. Courtney Burgess purposefully made up the videos and told hideous lies about Mr. Combs, and Ariel Mitchell and Newsnation either knew that Courtney Burgess's claims were false or made no effort to verify the truth of those false claims. As a result of defendants' malicious lies, Puffy has suffered significant reputational and economic harm. People who heard and believed the defendants' lies have accused Puff on social media, that is consumed by hundreds of millions of viewers each day, of being a debauched monster and a pedophile. Many viewers of the social media posts in which the defendants' falsehoods are published and republished post harassing and threatening messages against Mr. Combs. The unrelenting tide of negative publicity, and threatening social media posts resulting from defendants' lies have caused and will continue to cause Puffy severe reputational harm. So this is what we got, y'all. Defendants' intentionally false and defamatory statements have also poisoned the minds of the overwhelming majority of individuals residing in the Southern District of New York who might qualify for jury service and potentially sit on the jury in Mr. Combs' trial beginning in May 2025. Thus, in addition to all of the harms resulting from the defendant's unlawful and false statements, they have also deprived him of any meaningful opportunity for a fair trial on the government's charges against him. The defendants made false and defamatory statements concerning Puffy. As set forth in detail above, the defendants' defamatory statements included false assertions that Courtney Burgess was in possession of videos depicting Puffy involved in the sexual assault of celebrities and minors, and that Ariel Mitchell was in possession of information corroborating allegations of heinous sexual assaults. This is Puffy's $50 million lawsuit against Courtney Burgess, Ariel Mitchell, and Nexstar Media, Ashleigh, Banfield, and Newsnation. So these people got problems. Courtney Burgess has problems. Ariel Mitchell has a lot of problems. Nexstar Media, Newsnation, and Ashleigh Banfield will have problems. Sean Atwood on his YouTube channel in Schofield, they will have problems. These YouTube platforms and these social media platforms allowed NBC and Peacock with that defamatory documentary they did. I think Puff has sued them for $100 million. These people have problems. But see, they thought they would never have to face Puff again. They thought Puff was going to get 30 calendars in prison and that he would die in prison. Or they thought that he was going to get life without the possibility of parole. They had him dead to rights. The public opinion of Puff was such that any jury was going to definitely find him guilty. And they felt as though they would never have to answer for these statements and these lies that they told on Puff. But Puff beat the feds at trial. He was acquitted of the RICO. He was acquitted of the sex trafficking, all of which charges were brought because of statements made by these people. And Puff is going to get out of prison soon. He'll be out of MDC Brooklyn. He's going to get maybe 2 years the most. I think 2 years is the max that he'll get on the charges he was convicted of. And he is going to sue these people. Well, they're already sued, and he's going to pursue it. And if I was him, I would. And I would pursue anybody that has made anything, if I was Puff, anybody that said anything about me that ain't true, that ain't right and exact, I would tell them tie their sneakers up and get ready for the get ready, because I'm going to see you in court. I'm going to sue you for damages. Podcast was sold. Peace.